Welcome back to Flashback Fridays, where we dive into the wildest, most controversial, and absolutely fascinating stories from the world of art and design. It's art history with edge, raw, real, and never boring. Today's story is about a painter who turned village lanes and fishing docks into sites of pure emotional dramascapes. A woman who looked at the world around her and said, I have yet to see one happy woman, and then poured that heartbreak onto canvas. If you have ever seen those tall, elongated, sad eyed women in saris on a gallery wall or on your feed, this episode is for you. Hit like, subscribe, and let's step into the world of Petra. Okay, imagine this a tall, impossibly slim woman painted in a single, moody color cobalt blue, muddy brown, deep orange. Her eyes are huge and distinct, her body exhausted yet strong. She could be a fisherwoman, a farmer's wife, a migrant worker, but you can tell that life has not been kind to her. The creator of this image is B. Prabha. She was born in 1933 in a village called Bela in Maharashtra. So, not a big city kid, not from a light art family, just a young girl from a middle class home who fell in love with drawing and painting. She studied at the Nagpur School of Art and then did something pretty bold for that time. She moved to Bombay to chase a diploma in painting and mural painting at Sir J.J. School of Art. Now imagine this move for a second. You're a young woman in the 1950s. India is newly independent. The art world is basically a boys' club. And you land up in Bombay with almost no money. Prava later said she came to the city with just 2 rupees and 11 paisa and had to sell jewelry, lean on friends for places to sleep, and stash her canvases wherever someone would give her a corner. Things we do for art. But here's where it gets cinematic. While she was still a student, she had her first exhibition, and at that show, three of her paintings were bought up none other than the Homi J. Bhabha. Yes, the legendary nuclear scientist and major art patron. By the time she died in 2001, Prabha's work had been shown in over 50 exhibitions and entered the major collection like the National Gallery of Modern Art and the Air India Art Collection. So she doesn't just exist as a tragic, struggling figure, she became Scanum, part of the official visual memory of modern India. But let's talk about what actually hits you. When you stand in front of a B. Prabha painting, the figures are elongated, almost unnaturally tall, with slender necks and long limbs that feel both elegant and fragile. Most canvases are dominated by a single color deep blue, earthy brown, mustard, rust. Like she chooses one emotional frequency and then lets it hum across the entire surface. Her subjects are usually rural women, fisherwomen, wives of farmers, or women from the Ivan poor, all carrying invisible weight on their shoulders. Prabha once said, it is my aim to paint the trauma and tragedy of women. You can feel it in the art, the eyes, the posture, the silence between figures. What's wild is how modern and global her language feels. She was inspired by European masters, think Van Gogh, emotional color, Gauguin tropical intensity, and Picasso's bold forms. But she didn't copy them. She translated that energy into Indian stories. Instead of Paris cafes or warm beaches, you get Kashmiri landscapes, coastal village, drought hit fields, and women waiting for men to return with fish or water. She started out experimenting with abstraction and different media, but slowly shifted into a very distinctive figurative style, the one we now instantly recognize as a P. Prabha. That evolution happened around the time she married fellow artist and sculptor B. Vittal in 1956, another Sir J.J. Allen. Together they did joint exhibitions, but her work carved out its own lane. More decorative in form, yes, but emotionally heavy, almost documentary in intent. Prabha entered the art world at a time when there were very few professional women. artists in India. The standard model was women are muses, not makers. They are painted, not painting. She completely rejected that. Inspired by Amrita Shekhar, she wanted real women as subjects, not idealized goddesses, not coy romantic heroines, not props in a male fantasy. Her women looked tired, overworked, sometimes resigned, but they were never decorative dolls. They look back at you and it's uncomfortable because you realize how much labor, grief, and resilience gets completely erased from the official story of India. Recognition did come slowly. In 1958, she won first prize at the Bombay State Art Exhibition, and she later received an award from the All India Fine Arts and Crafts Society in New Delhi. She had also solo shows at Delhi's Kumar Gallery in 1959 and 1961. And even in the 1990s, her work kept appearing in big curated exhibitions of contemporary Indian painters. Prabha died in Nagpur in 2001, closing a life that had begun in a small village and ended with her work in national and international collections. But why is she relevant? Why right now? Those women she painted, the fisherwomen, the migrants, the rural laborers, they haven't magically disappeared. They are still out there in today's India and across the global south, holding up economies while being almost invisible in mainstream narratives. When you scroll past a P. Prabha image on Instagram or see one in a museum, it's easy to go, oh, pretty, very aesthetic, love the colors. But if you pause long enough, you start to notice the bags under the eyes, the bent bags, the empty horizons. Her art insists that these lives deserve to be seen, not glamorized, not romanticized, just honestly witnessed. And that's maybe the most radical thing she made the ordinary woman, the main character of modern Indian art. So next time you see those tall, blue, brown, or rusted color women staring out of a canvas, remember, they are carrying the stories of countless real people behind them. And remember the artist who painted them, starting with almost nothing but talent, stubbornness, and 2 rupees and 11 paisa in her pocket. If you like traveling back in the time with B. Prabha today, drop a comment telling us which artwork of hers you love the most. Hit like, share this with your bestie, and subscribe to Art with Veer for more Flashback Friday deep dives into the artists who shaped how we see the world. See you next Friday, same time, new story.